using free image sites to create your KDP low content books. Hi, Kerry here from Dream Creative Bee, and welcome to my channel where we show you how to make money with KDP low content books and Etsy with new training every week. So be sure to hit the big red subscribe button down below. So today I'm actually following on from a previous video where I talked about using images and actually checking the licensing, and I did all paid accounts. Now I'm going to be looking at some free accounts. Now you have to look at all the licensing agreements on all of these. They can change at any time. The companies can be taken over by other companies that actually charge for images, so you need to be aware. And the rule of thumb is, if you're using an image, try and change it at some point, make it different, because most of the licenses actually state that. So you would keep safe by actually doing that anyway. So one of the biggest sites that people use is Pixabay. Why? Because there's lots of images that you can actually go through and check, and you sign up for free and you can use the images for free. But you need to do your due diligence. Now there's lots of images here, and they do have a license called Terms of Service. I'll leave a link in the description for all of these links so you can go and check them out yourself. And what it says here is license for content, Pixabay license. Content on Pixabay is made available to you on the following terms. So under the license, you're granted irrevocable, worldwide, non-exclusive and royalty-free rights to use, download, copy and modify or adapt the content for commercial or non-commercial purpose. Attribution to the photographer or videographer or musician or Pixabay is not required, but it's always appreciated. But it then goes on to tell you what you're not allowed to do. So sale or distribution of content as a digital content or as a digital wallpaper, such as stock media websites. So you can't take, say, this image here of leaves and then make it into a wallpaper pattern and then put it up for sale on this site here, which is Spoonflower, because you cannot do that. That's exactly what it's saying. Nor can you take that image as is and put it on Etsy as a digital paper. You need to do something different to it to make it different, because that is taking the image from one platform and putting it on another platform. Now, if you are using that as part of a cover on your KDP book, it is different because you are making it part of something else. It's not being the individual on its own. I'm also going to state, I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. If you want legal advice, you need to hire your own lawyer to go and get this. Or contact the different companies, the different image companies, because they will email you back telling you the do's and don'ts of what you can actually do. Again, it says here, sale or distribution of content such as posters, digital prints, music files, without adding any additional elements. So you need to change it in some way if you're going to be selling it and using it as commercial purposes. If you are using it for personal use and you're just going to download that and put your own wallpaper up with it without selling it, then that may be fine. But if you're selling it, make sure you do change and make sure it is different. Just the depiction or identifiable persons in an offensive, pornographic, obscene, immoral, or defamatory or libelous way. So you can't take some of these images of people that's on here. So say there's some photographs and there's that woman there, and say something like a 1,000-year-old miracle cure from China that helps people lose weight, keeps their bodies thin and healthy and all that. You cannot take that image and use that for that purpose, and it clearly states that, so don't do that. And any suggestions that there's endorsements of products and services by a depicted person, brands or vocalists, so you can't pretend that she is advertising something that she's not. Clearly all she's doing is looking at some flowers. So that is the license from Pixabay. Again, the link will be down in the description. Go out and check it. Then another one for photographs more than images itself is Unsplash. Now, Unsplash, you need to be very careful with it because they have just been taken over by Getty Images. So you need to keep checking the license. At the moment, they are keeping the license the exact same, but I would keep an eye on that. So it says all photos can be downloaded and used for free, commercial and non-commercial purposes, and no permission needed. What you cannot do, photos cannot be sold without significant moderation. Again, change them. You need to change your images so that they are different. Compiling photos from Unsplash to replicate a similar or competing service. So you cannot then go and put these on Pixabay, for example. So again, they all state the same things, if not, that if you're using something, make it different, change it in some sort of way, and don't upload the image or the file or anything onto another platform that is competing with them. So that is what you can do. Then another one here is public domain vectors. Now this site is great because it's got SVGs, AIs and EPS, and you can actually do quite a lot with these. But again, they've also got a license. Now I'm actually going to go down to the bottom here first, and it says public domain vectors offers copyright-free vector images in popular EPS, SVG, AI and CDR formats to the extent possible under law. Uploaders on this site have waived all copyright to their vector images. You are free to edit, distribute and use the images for unlimited commercial purposes without asking permission, although absolutely not required. We appreciate every link back to mention our website, and they give you some useful links as well. So again, their license here also mentions that it's the Creative Commons deed CC:02. What you do need to do is you need to check that these images are not on other platforms, and I'll show you how to do that just now. So this is the Creative Commons license. So it talks about no copyright. The person who associated work with this deed had dedicated the work to the public domain by waiving all his or her rights to work worldwide under copyright law. Now, you need to understand that anything that you or anybody creates automatically has the copyright to them. They don't need to register it. And why am I telling you this? It's because if you go onto Google and you just select images from there, the copyright is still with the person that uploaded that image. It is not yours to use. It's same if you go to Pinterest. So we'll do some examples. Unless they have put it on a specific site like public domain where they have, or Pixabay where they have given up their right to copyright. So if you go on images like this, you cannot just take any of these images and put them into your work without actually checking to see which sites they come from. Now, Unsplash says you can use it if you change it and it's not the main body of the work. So we know that one's fine, but Shutterstock, no, we know we need to actually go and purchase it, and you might need to have to go and purchase the extended license to be able to use that. So we know that. And Getty Images, no, just if you're going to use Getty Images, go and get the license and the extended license. It is not worth it because Getty is known for coming after people. In fact, they're known for coming after people who haven't even used their images. I know from personal experience when I worked on somebody's website, they were actually approached by Getty Images because of an image that was on their website. It turned out it wasn't a Getty image. It was actually the person whose website it was, his own photograph that he had taken and had cropped his wife out. So he went back to them saying, hey, back off here. This is my own photograph. And they are known for going after people. So just don't touch it unless you have bought a specific license from Getty Images. So let's go and check some other stuff. So as I've mentioned, do not use any of these unless you can specifically know where they come from, like Pixabay and Unsplash, or public domain vectors, or from other free sites. So if you go to Pinterest and you see all these gorgeous pictures of fairies because you've decided you're going to do a fairy coloring book or something, you cannot go and recreate these images just by redrawing them. That is not right, because you are taking away somebody else's copyright. You can be inspired by these images, but you cannot draw them and then put them into your KDP books or into your Etsy printables sales or anything like that, because you are stepping on other people's copyright, and they can come and give you a cease and desist letter and request from KDP or Etsy that they shut you down. So it is not worth it. Now, some of these older images may be old Victorian images that you can get from different public domain places. So there is an article which I will leave down in the description that talks about 31 free public domain image websites. Again, it says use with care, because you need to follow the rules, follow to see if it's following the Creative Commons 0 license, or that the image cannot be copyrightable, and that they are free to use. Because you've got to remember that some images and books and things may have come out of the copyright period, but the family have recopyrighted it, or the foundation has recopyrighted. So you need to check out. So there is a lot here for you to go through. And again, I'll leave a link down in the description. But remember, out of all the rules, if you are using any of these websites, take the images, make sure you make them different, make sure you make them unique, make sure that you make them to your own thing, and make sure that you keep coming back and checking the licenses every time you use them. Now, there's also a way of using Google Images search to actually check to see if an image is safe. Now, if you click on the little camera, you can do a paste from URL, or you can do an upload an image. So what we can do is we can go onto one of these and we can click on it, and we can actually get the URL here. And sometimes it will actually bring up that it's on another site. And if it doesn't bring it up, then you know, basically, you should be safe to use that image and change it, put it on a book cover, but change different things to it, lighten it, darken it, all the different things that you can do. Or you can also upload an image if you're not sure where you got it from. So I've got an image here, this one here. I know exactly where I got this from. I also have an account with them, so I know that I am safe to use it and change it. So here it's come from this very site here. So I know that that has found exactly where it's come from, and I'm quite happy that I know I can use it because I've got the license to be using that, editing it and changing it. So those are all the things you need to be checking out with your images. So again, I'll leave all the links down in the description to help you. But remember, read the rules, do your own due diligence, make sure that you are following what they say, and try and change all your images so that they are unique. And again, don't just take them from Pinterest or Google and draw them as if they're your own. It's exactly like as if you're drawing an image from Disney. We've all done it as children or as people learning how to draw. We've all learned how to draw by copying other images, but you cannot claim them as your own because they are somebody else's copyright. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell above my head to subscribe to be notified about any other videos I make. And if you missed the video about using images and the licensing that you need to check out, don't forget to check out that. Also, don't forget about checking out my video about removing color from images in PowerPoint.